I'm around, I'm going nowhere. I am here with the people. And people support my quest to be the chairman of African Union Commission. I'm thanking them. But when I go to Addis Ababa, I will be very much around here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm going nowhere. And I've told our people that they are unboggerable and they are unpungerable. Devolution was an idea whose time had come. But there are many people who did not want devolution. Devolution had very many powerful enemies. And you have seen that devolution is actually suffering in the process of implementation. You've seen so many new bills being developed and being taken to Parliament with the intention of clawing back on devolution. We are saying that this is a process that is unconstitutional and that must be resisted. There's so many new bills which are coming to Parliament, and these bills want to take away functions which have already been devolved by the Constitution and take them back to the national government. That will not be allowed. That must be resisted strongly. Secondly, we'd like to urge the national government to ensure that funds which have already been approved by Parliament are remitted down to the county government so that they can be used for the purposes of development in the country. Then I've also said, I've given a free advice to the government, that there are functions which were centralized before, like in terms of infrastructure, the roads, Kura and Kera existed at that time because we were dealing with a unitary system of government. Today, Kura and Kera should actually fall under the county governments. And those funds should be transferred to the counties so that counties can use those funds for development of roads, road infrastructure in the counties. This will make the work easier for the national government. But because we know there's a resistance, but ultimately this issue will have to be addressed nationally.
I want to say that I join the rest of Kenyan patriots who are supporting Raila Amolo Odinga to be the next chairman of the African Union Commission, effective next year. But I want people to have a proper debate about Raila going to Addis Ababa. Some people are talking about Raila Amolo going to Addis Ababa as if that is the end of the world. As if that is the end of the world. I want them, if they are forgotten, there used to be somebody called Kurt Waldheim. He was the Secretary General of the United Nations. Secretary General for 2 terms. And when he finished, he went back to be president of Austria, just in the 80s. In Africa, we have had the example of Zozana Zuma in South Africa and Mr. Ping in Cameroon. So Raila is not going to AU to meet some people's obligations. He's going there as a Pan-Africanist and a true Kenyan. When you go everywhere in the country, when there's a little problem, wanasema baba yuko happy. Baba yuko happy. I said in Homa Bay, Baba can chew gum and walk at the same time. He can be in Addis Ababa and still take care of the affairs of the nation of Kenya, of the Republic of Kenya. And I pray that the Azimio leadership, and my brother Wajakoya is here, you're my neighbor. We are saying that Azimio is intact, the leadership is intact, ODM is intact. Nothing will boggle us. There's a clawback on devolution. And Wandai and Mbadi has talked about the sharing of revenue. But the other thing I'm worried about, there are bills and policies and regulations before Parliament, which in essence is a clawback on devolution. That will not happen. We will not allow what Baba fought so hard to be clawed away.
As you know, agriculture is fully devolved. Agriculture is fully devolved as a function. Even though we continue to struggle to have money released from the national treasury to come down here. A lot of money is still being held up at the national government level. And in our constitution, the national government, as insofar as agriculture is concerned, is only left with one small function, which is agricultural policy. And yet the contradiction is that a lot more money is still being held up in Nairobi